Mary Ann, please record the attendance.
Okay. Alyssa.
And everybody had a chance to take a look at the minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I have a motion to accept the minutes of February 4th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay,
Okay.
do we have general public? Yay. Okay, no.
No, there's nobody here right now.
No, no.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, new business. Approval of the eligibility list for the town clerk position.
Okay, any questions? I put some information on the bottom there that we had a total of 62 applicants.
Mhm.
There were only 8 that were qualified because they needed experience as a town clerk, a paralegal, and also a title, what do they call that? Person that does title searches.
Yeah, right.
Out of all of those people, we only had 8 that were qualified, 2 withdrew, 2 failed, and we have a list of 4 people.
Okay,
Okay.
All right.
all right.
Any questions? No.
Everybody set? All right. Looking for a motion to approve the eligibility list for the town clerk position. All in
I-
favor?
Yeah.
Opposed?
Michelle.
Abstentions? Okay.
All righty.
All set, Mary Ann?
Yep, got it.
Okay. Director of Operations, Public Works, request to advertise, test, and recruit. This is a pretty detailed job, and no, thank you. Wow. All right, let's take a look at that. It's,
Madam Chair, that's why George is here to answer if you have any questions about the job.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Yeah.
could I ask, under supervision exercised, how many supervisors are there? Public Works supervisors?
There
Okay,
are 6 within that division.
yeah.
So he's supervising about 9 people. Is that, am I counting right? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. All right.
There are 6 supervisors. Below that, there are 26 within the highway department. So it trickles down, it expands beyond that. Those 6 that I mentioned are the supervisory level.
Right.
And then it goes beyond that. If I may, just to give you a little bit of the what I'm hoping to achieve with the establishment of this position. We're looking. We've been doing a lot of team building this year, working closely with Tom and I have been working with the union. Some of the next steps that will be taking place are going to be creating pathways for advancement within the ranks, because I really believe in training and then creating an opportunity, have something to aspire to. There have been about 6, 7, or 8 years now of very few, if any, advancement possibilities within that highway division. So this person is going to continue and expand on that training, the establishment of that training, the team building, the maximizing of our workforce across the different divisions. Because if you look at a department structure, the director of operations is at the same tier as the superintendent of parks, as well as the town engineer. Those 3 will collaborate on a daily basis because everything within public works crosses those lines. You have all seen some of the newer positions that we have created within the Parks Department, and understand where some of those responsibilities are being tailored. So we really are remolding the public works operations within Trumbull to be more specifically more customer service driven. And it's all about delivery of services and not just it. I don't believe in forcing things. I believe in people having an opportunity to take on leadership roles and be self-motivated. I don't like to spoon feed everything, and I don't like to micromanage. I incentivize people to try to grow.
I see in the job description, you have a lot of that kind of team building and training and building morale and that kind of thing. And I have to just say on a personal note that you come with an excellent reputation.
Thank you.
So I have to say that what you're talking about makes a lot of good sense.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
really appreciate
I
that.
definitely agree too. Is this more of like a soft skill trainings that you're providing, or is it potential certifications, or just?
It's going to be, it crosses over because we have to really develop and establish an organized training program with skill sets that will advance especially within the highway division. There are specific equipment capacities that you need to achieve through training. So we will be working with Mary Ann because a lot of this is going to need to be established processes where in order to grow through the ranks from an entry-level maintainer to a senior operator, eventually there are steps along
So
the
like
way.
a career ladder.
Yeah, absolutely. But beyond that, we have things, bloodborne pathogen, flagman training.
That's
There are
great.
all sorts of safety type trainings that they all have to have along the way.
Right.
And would they be able to get certified through them?
Yes, yes. Each of those are certificates. Some of them are annual, required through
Mhm.
OSHA. So it's having that so that, it's a badge. So as you achieve something, it motivates you to go to the next one.
Right.
So it's really important. And when I arrived, the first meeting I had with them, it wasn't even 2 weeks into my arrival at Trumbull. I assembled everyone and I basically told them exactly what I've laid out within this as a blueprint, as one of the pieces to the blueprint. It's exactly what I said to them. I had a conversation yesterday with the union because Tom and I have to set something up once we pass the hurdles of budget. And we are being supported by the administration and the finance department. But we still need to go to Board of Finance, obviously, and respect whatever the outcome is there. And then ultimately the council. But I want to get through that process and through some positions some retirements, funding, some additional opportunities within the department for the guys that are left there.
Do you have a matrix or some kind of graph that you can share with us about these lateral positions, who's under who and all of that? Because as we go along, we asked Mary Ann last time if we could have some kind of record of, we're hiring in every month, it's this person in that position. And so for our own edification, I think it would help us if we kind of could keep track ourselves of
Absolutely.
and
think
I
that's
like
a great
the idea
Yeah.
that in the town, we're building capacity.
With your
So-
permission, what I'll do, I'll provide that to Mary Ann and Tom to share with you. It's in flux right now because we're finalizing the OpEx process right now. Actually, next Monday night, I just found out today that next Monday night, I'll be meeting with the council, one of the subcommittees from the council. So as this advances, I have laid most of it out. There have been a couple of pieces that have changed recently. So I will get you something in the near future.
When you feel comfortable,
Yeah.
when it's finalized and, you feel
Just a
comfortable
meeting.
sharing it, just so that we
Absolutely.
have something. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just want to share, I think this is wonderful. We have 50 public work guys down in highway that would love to get promoted, and we've been trying to train them and move them along, you know, for advancement. So I'm totally for this. It's
Good,
Yeah, that's
terrific.
great.
yeah.
All right, okay, very good. Thank you, George. Okay, so let's talk about recruiting and testing and talk to us. What do you think? Advertising, do we have
Me?
to advertise in any particular places that we haven't done before?
I have not, to be honest with you, I have not looked at that, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I will defer
Yeah.
to Tom and Mary Ann, to their expertise for the appropriate locations that it should be on.
Yeah, there's
George,
a
is there-
serve list through UConn that we've advertised. They
Yeah.
have a network, and I would
I-
recommend putting it there.
Yeah, and there's a highway department association. I'm sure.
That's what I was gonna say. Is there, an
Yeah.
there's gotta be an association. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay, so what we would say is that you are going to advertise in all appropriate venues so that we get the best possible sampling of candidates.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Testing would be what, Mary Ann? What do you think?
well, I think there's like, is there a time restraint on this? Like, we want to get this job filled as soon as possible. Maybe we should just do experience and training.
So I would, because of the budget, I'm gonna speak for George, because of the budget situation, yes, the answer is we need to be moving on this one fast.
Okay,
All right, so then I would rank it at 100% experience and training. Does that sound good?
yeah, right, because that obviously is what we're looking for. You
Yeah,
know, people who are, ready to take on these jobs.
So I'm explaining, Marianne, just explain what that means to George, just so he
Okay.
understands that, because I want him to understand what you're saying.
okay, so based on the job description, we have, the last section is experience and training. So in order for a person to be qualified, they must meet all the qualifications under experience and training. So for example, it says 8 years of progressively responsible experience. If they have 6 years, they're disqualified. They must meet the criteria of the experience and training. And then once they're qualified, we would set up some type of grid, and it would be based on possibly their years of experience. You could also base it on their education. You can base it on if they work for a municipality versus their own construction company. You know, you would set this all up before you looked at any applications. And
Okay.
then once the applications came in, you would create a scoring grid. And that's how we would base the top candidates.
And that would mean no interview for the ranking, is that right, Marianne?
What it would mean is our department would rank, if there were 10 candidates, you and I would rank the 10, and George would get the top 5.
Top 5.
for an interview.
Right, for an interview.
To do the interview, but that it would be based solely on their resumes, essentially.
Right, experience and
get-
training.
Right, to George, to get to that point. Are you comfortable with that?
I think so. I think so.
But one thing that when you do look at the job description again, just clarify really what's preferred versus what's an absolute. Because like they said, if it's absolute, they'll take it off. But if it's preferred, they'll put them to the top of the list.
Oh,
Right.
different weights, you mean? Oh,
Yeah.
Weight priorities and weights on the
Yeah.
priorities.
Yeah, when you
Because if
say
it has
preferred,
to, then they're just going to eliminate. But if
right,
you say preferred, they might include it, but it might not be at
Right.
the top of the list.
right. The more, if you put preferred for something, whether they have it or not, it doesn't matter. It's that it's just preferred, you know?
Right.
So you may get, instead of 10 people, you might get 50 because you put something was preferred.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, everybody
Okay.
happy with that? Everybody's clear? on
Okay.
that? Okay, all right.
And we're gonna vote on that.
So, pardon me?
So is someone going to?
Yeah, we'll make a motion to advertise in appropriate places,
Mm-hmm,
to test with 100% experience and training,
okay, mm-hmm,
and to recruit.
right. Okay, so,
And the top 5 will go to George for an interview.
right, yep.
Okay. That is a motion as put forth by somebody.
Come on, someone, come on. Hand-
Okay,
Michelle?
Michelle. All right, Barbara.
And
Barbara will second you.
Barbara will second. Okay, great.
All in favor?
I,
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your.
Okay.
Oh, you're welcome, George.
so nice meeting you. I've definitely seen your name before. I'm
Yeah.
sure on
And
so many
and there
things.
was no number underneath, right?
George, I'd like to point out that Ian never said I came highly recommended. Just want to put that out.
I heard you came highly recommended. I'll say that.
I did say that to
I heard
somebody
it.
somewhere at some point.
I love it. Well, thank you very much. Very
George.
nice meeting all of you. I look forward to the day when we can actually all be at a table. having a
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah,
Please.
That would be nice.
All right.
yeah.
It
Thank you.
would.
Stay safe.
We're getting there.
All right.
Yes, we're-
Bye, George.
Bye-bye now.
Okay, take
Okay,
care.
thank you.
All right, bye. All right,
You all set, Mary Ann?
I'm all set.
Okay,
That was great having him on
next
the call. Thank
is,
you for setting that up.
What's that?
That was great having him on the call.
Oh, yeah, no, it helps.
Yeah.
hold on,
definitely.
I'm gonna,
I've learned a lesson from the last meeting. See, I can continue to learn. When you guys were asking me questions and I was like, I don't know what those things mean. So
I
I
don't want
said,
you to hear
George.
any of my messages.
Yeah.
So the next item, the Administrative Support Series 1, 2, and 3 was so interesting to see how you're starting to massage those positions so that the qualifications of the candidate can fill out a need in whatever department you're, I like that.
Yeah, we've
So-
been doing this for 5 years now. We started in 2015, so almost 6 years now. We consolidated all the admin jobs because
Yeah.
I used to be testing 20 times a year
Oh,
for
I
all
know.
the clerical admin jobs, and it was just unbelievably time consuming. So now,
120 people would apply. Oh, yeah. I remember those days.
Right?
yeah,
Those administrative positions, you can get 300-400.
oh yeah,
Right,
oh yeah, I get
Right.
150 easily.
Oh,
Easily.
right.
Yeah, so, so
So,
our previous list expired and we need to create a new one. And, you know, after doing this for 5 years, we've had some glitches and every year something comes up and, you know, once we, you know, establish a motion for how we're going to test and so forth, I do want to discuss something in addition. So what we've been doing is the OPAC system, the proficiency test with the Word, Excel, Outlook,
Right.
proofreading, there's customer service, there's many tests that we give, and it's been working really well. So, you know, I would definitely continue to do that. We have a software that we renew every year, and it's been very helpful, and it's all online, and it's, you know, I have nothing but good things to say about it.
okay.
So, so I looked up the last time we gave an, oh God, a admin series, which was a year ago. And I'm just going to briefly read the motion because it was pretty long. So basically, we made a motion to advertise, recruit, and test for various clerical administrative support positions. We will run one test for any and all vacancies that occur for a 1-year period. or after 1/3 of the list is exhausted, which is in the civil service rules. The weights will be 100% based on the core components of the online proficiency assessment exam established by civil service. What we did was the last time, because we got 150 applicants, we will be testing the first qualified, you have to be qualified, 50 candidates, including internal candidates who apply. Certain positions may require additional testing depending on the wage grade. If it's a very high paying salary, we would also do additional testing or experience in training or an oral exam. And only the top 10 scoring candidates on the eligibility list will be subject to the additional testing. So we wouldn't do additional testing for everyone. We would just take the top 10 and test them. So basically that, you know, we've been doing this and it's been working very well.
Okay,
Okay,
why fix what ain't broken?
right. Well, so
If,
what I did want to add is that, you know, since we've been doing this, we've had a lot of internal people apply for jobs because naturally they want to get promoted. They want to increase their salary and they want to apply for these higher paying jobs. Now, when we do this cluster of admin support testing, we don't know who's retiring. We don't know if it's a clerk level or if it's an admin level or office manager. So people are just taking this test. And a lot of the internals are doing very well and they're in the top 5 percentile. But in accordance to civil service, if you're in the top 5 percentile and you waive your interview or you withdraw, civil services, after 3 times that you have not been appointed, you're thrown off the list. Now, I don't think it's fair for internals to be thrown off a list because they're at a level and they're interviewing for a lower pay scale. It doesn't make sense.
okay,
So I just think that, you know, we should tweak it to say that you do not want to remove an employee from the list because they withdraw or waive a job because it's the same or lower salary.
Marion and I discussed this, by the way, and we're
Okay.
we're in agreement on this.
Yeah.
oh, all right, okay, because I was just gonna
Clarify.
ask,
Yeah,
What-
like for example, if someone's making $30 an hour right now and a
Mhm.
job becomes available and they're the top 10 and it's paying $20, why would they want to interview for that job? So they
Right, so what it's saying
withdraw.
now is if they waive that, they can
Right.
only get a certain amount of time before.
Right, if they, right, if they waive it,
Yeah.
then they are removed from the list and then they can't apply for any other job.
right,
Gotcha,
It's
okay.
not
Yeah, why
fair to them.
penalize people?
right,
Right.
right, okay.
Yeah, that doesn't make
So,
sense.
so that's not a civil service rule, so.
It
we
is a
can-
civil, it's in civil service, it says, it says that, hold on, I have it written down here. It says the name of any eligible person may also be removed if the person has been certified for appointment 3 times and has not been appointed, or if the eligible person has waived appointment twice. So basically that's saying if someone's been interviewed for a lower paying job, and if they waived it, then if they've waived it twice, now they're off the list. And then if a great job comes up 2-3 months later, they can't be considered.
Okay, so I get that part, but the part I don't get is, can we change the civil service rule? I mean, how can we adjust that?
Well, that's why I'm bringing that up. I don't know.
Well, if you remember, we changed the civil service rule before for the EMS, right? The EMS department.
Right.
So I think if you guys just take a vote, you can actually, but I think the question is though, Marianne, I think, did we specifically put that on the agenda?
No,
This is a special meeting.
no,
Sir.
this wasn't listed as a special meeting.
No, this was our regularly,
Well, our regular meeting was for the,
Yeah,
I believe the
yeah.
10th, but I
Right,
did
right.
not make this, you know, a special meeting. It was just
See
that
what-
we didn't have our meeting on the 10th.
Can we at this point make a motion that would begin this, so you can begin this process? And at the same time, maybe we can put it on the agenda to make it a more permanent change?
So I think you can take a vote just to impact just this administrative
Right,
series. So I
right.
think you could take a vote just to waive that rule for the administrative series, because that series is on the agenda. And then if you guys want to look at, maybe we can
Right.
take a look at maybe giving you something
Make it
rewritten
more
for the
permanent. Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
later.
you know what, I mean,
Okay,
for example, like last month, you waive reposting a job. It doesn't say in civil service that you can repost a job, but yet you
Right.
waive, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So you would
okay,
sort of doing the same thing, right?
Yeah,
All right.
I think you can do a one-time waiver for this job, I think, because you guys make the decision about how we do that, so. And you
so
have the
let's
power
do
to
it.
change the
Let's
rules.
do
so-
that. What do you, okay, let's put forth a motion then that sets that particular rule aside for this particular process going forward. And that Marion will ask that you put that on our agenda for
Right.
next time.
So. So we're gonna put it on the agenda for next time. I mean,
If you want to change the civil service
oh
rule
yeah, we'll put it on the
more
agenda.
permanently for
okay,
any position,
Right, okay,
then that'll be on the next agenda.
Okay,
This
got
particular issue is going to
Let's-
set aside that just for this administrative
Okay.
support, 1, 2, 3.
okay, got it. So, okay, so for this.
Mary, we just gotta be very specific of exactly what they're waiving for this.
Right.
Yes, yes,
In the
get
minutes,
that
that's it.
language. Mhm.
Right, for this admin support series 1, 2, and 3, you know, we don't want to remove an employee from the list because they withdraw or waive a job with the same or lower salary for, you know, for just this particular posting, okay? Does
Mhm.
that sound right?
Mhm. As long as that you're capturing the exact language in the civil service rules that we are setting aside. So
Okay.
all of that talk that you did, I don't have it in front of me,
Right.
so
Okay,
that's the only thing I would be concerned about, that we use the specific language.
okay. I mean, or we could just go ahead and, you know, and then next month, just put a motion to, you know, make that change. It's however you guys want to do it.
Marianne, are you able to take someone out of like an admin who applied to an admin 1 job and move them over to an admin 2 job and interview them for that, even though they didn't apply for the admin 1?
No, they have to apply.
Could they apply to, let's say they're overqualified for the admin 1, you want to put them into an admin 2. Can they just reapply and
Well,
have
so,
2?
so this test is for admins 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And then
when
they
you-
draw from
So
the
when you
list.
apply, you don't know what the job is until
Right.
it becomes
That's
vacant.
perfect. So you're basically applying for all.
Right.
And
Right.
you decide which one they're gonna
And
go.
then right, they can pick and choose which
Got
they
it.
feel that best
I
would
just want a
meet the needs of the
clarification on that.
department, right?
But see, okay, so let me explain to you. So, for example, you apply and then you find out it's a low-level test, or I mean, a low-level
Waive
job,
it.
Mhm.
and you're one of the top 5, and you're like, well, I'm not
Right.
interested. So if you're not interested, so many times you get kicked off the list now. and
Right.
You can't apply for any other job within that year.
And that kind of does sound unreasonable.
Right, yeah.
Right.
That's, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
It definitely, it's unfair to people who have moved up the chain a bit.
Right.
right,
Especially if they don't know what they're applying to.
right.
Right.
Because we don't know what the vacancy is
Right.
throughout the year.
And if the first 2 vacancies are low-level vacancies, then you're essentially
Right,
killing the person at the top of the list who did very well, who has advanced to the second or third level.
And
Yeah,
our,
okay.
and our
Okay.
employees don't want to withdraw because they don't want to get kicked off the list.
Right,
Because the next job might be the one they want.
Exactly.
And so you get uninterested people being, interviewed for jobs, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave after 6 months.
Yeah.
Right.
okay, so let's have a motion here to advertise in the appropriate places,
Mhm.
to test using your OPEX system or whatever it's
Yeah.
called,
Yep, OPAC, okay.
OPAC.
Mhm.
And
Specifically
in the
waiving,
motion,
yes,
we are setting aside for this posting, we are setting aside the language from the civil service rules that pertains to the kicking people off the list if
Mhm.
they refuse 2 or more times or whatever the
for,
language is.
for equal or lower positions. I
Yes,
think that's
yeah.
important,
Equal, yes, equal.
not for higher
no.
positions, right? But for
I think we
equal or-
all understand what we're saying here,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so you and Mary Ann can craft that language
Yeah.
specifically. And,
We'll put the
Yeah.
brilliant wording together.
Right.
Yes.
yeah, I
Well,
knew, I just knew it because,
Yeah.
Tom is so good at this stuff. He is just, did I ever tell you?
Keep it coming, Ann. Keep it coming.
Yeah, right? I mean,
So I just want to add one other thing. I mean, this for me is specifically for town employees that are trying to move up the ladder. Now, what about the applicant that applies from outside the town that it is in the top 5 and then they get interviewed and they're not interested in that job? I'm,
I think you do the same for everyone.
so it would,
Well,
oh,
I almost think that this rule might have been put into effect because of that. Because what if someone just is applying all the time and then interviews and is like, nah, I don't want that job, and applying again, but not an external candidate.
yeah.
I
see,
don't know.
Well,
So can we,
that's
can
a
we,
good point.
I
Can
just think for
we make-
equity purposes, you gotta do it for the same people, for everyone the same.
But I think there's an issue with the outside candidate. The inside candidate,
Yeah.
we know the level of their position,
Right.
right?
Right.
We know if it's equal or lower. We don't necessarily know the outside candidate's equal or lower position.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna change it just for this admin, then I would think you'd wanna do it for all, maybe just this one admin position. Because we don't know why this person is waived. If she's giving their example of, they don't know what their job they're posting to, and then they end up not wanting it, it's the same situation if you're internal or external. Follow what I'm
Yeah,
make
I'm
sense?
trying,
But would
So-
that
so, but-
external person know what they're applying to or no?
They get one
No.
of 3. They don't know.
not according
for
to
the
the new
admin.
way we're doing it.
Hmm.
That's my only
You know-
concern is that they don't
See,
know.
Okay, but see,
They're at a
let's say no, there are no internal people applying for this job, and let's say it's all external. If they were to waive it after 2-3 waves, they're out. So for me, this is more of an internal thing. It's not for external because
So,
the whole purpose of civil service is for them to be in the top percentile and to get appointed into this job. And if they decide not to, then that's one strike against them. And if they have 2-3 strikes, then they're off.
Yeah.
the-
If they knew what job they were applying for, I would completely agree with that. But because there's 3 different jobs and they don't know which one, I think it makes it difficult.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I was saying before about the glitches in this admin series.
Right.
that we're
That's
coming
my
Yes,
only
one of
yes.
them. Yeah,
how do we, so let me ask a question, and this is me asking questions, my brain is racing trying to figure it out. How do we figure out, because if we're saying equal or lower positions are different, how do we figure out what is equal or lower for an outside candidate?
That's
Right.
it, Right.
yeah.
They could be, they could be whatever, they could be a garbage man, right? In applying for an admin job.
Yeah,
How do I judge that? Do you know what I mean? At least internally, we know,
Right.
we know the levels internally.
right.
We have salary grades, we have things like that we can judge. I don't
Yeah.
know, I honestly don't know how to do
So.
what you want to do, Alyssa.
So what if this happens? So what if the top 6 people are 5 internal and 1 external? What difference could it possibly make if the internals or the externals are refusing? Just this go around, and then I think we can debate the nuances of how we have to tweak this going forward.
Well, I guess if somebody, Marianne, listen, this is me off the top of my head, so you know this way better than me. If someone from the outside wanted to withdraw from a position, I guess then we would have them, they'd have to submit what
Right.
their current job title or salary is or something if we're gonna, I don't know. I mean, or if they're unemployed, I don't know what you do then,
Well,
which is probably likely.
if someone decides they want to withdraw, they're scratched off the list for good. We take them off the list.
From, you mean, if after the second time,
Is
that right?
Right, well, they're taken off the current list.
Just for that job or forever applying to any?
Well, no, just for that job, They withdrew from that job.
But I
See,
think if you,
normally
isn't it,
we do one job at a time. Okay, now we're doing all admins, all clericals. So normally, if a person, let's say, I don't know, a building official, okay? You have 5 people that apply, and if someone withdraws, they're off the list now. And then we take the next person on the list. So now they're off that list until we create a new list. And then they could apply again.
Okay, that's a little bit different than what I interpreted before.
I thought it was, so maybe I'm now, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you got 2, so we do okay, let's all take a step back and have the,
Yeah.
okay. We created this world of admin 1, 2, and 3s. We took everything that was separate and put them into one big package in 3 levels. And we do one big old test that creates a one listing for everybody.
Right.
And so if we get somebody that applies, we get a job, we put a job out for, now that we have this list and we have the top so-and-sos, right? And we put a job out that's an admin 1 position, and someone who is currently internally an admin 2 is in it. In our game plan, we're gonna say, you can waive that and there's no harm, no foul.
Penalty. Mhm.
Okay, now, but say there is a job that is an admin 3 job and you have an admin 2, they want to waive it. It's internal now. They want to waive it. They get a strike against them, 1 strike, right? And if they do that twice, don't they then get off the list and they're done? They can apply for no more admin jobs. Is that correct? That's my understanding of what happens, and I hope I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, right, then they can't apply for any more jobs.
Any more?
Not
admin
ever,
jobs in
not
the
ever?
future, Ever.
Well, not until our list expires and then
Right.
they can get into the round
Right.
again.
Right.
So if
right.
you
Which may
would-
be a year from now.
Right,
Okay.
you waive the first 2 high-level jobs above you, you're done for the next year,
Year, right.
right? Until we
Right.
do, well, it's really till we do the next test, right?
Well, I mean, you really have to read the civil service rules because the
Yeah.
interpretation is very, very, very
Yeah.
vague. This is,
So let me ask you this. How quickly do you want to get started on starting to interview for these jobs? You have openings now that you need to fill?
yes,
Okay, can I make a suggestion? Because I think we do need to start the process. Can you
Yeah.
guys approve starting the process for us, getting it going? And at the next we'll call another civil service meeting. And the next one, Marion and I will have written language for you that explains exactly what we think the best solution is. And then if you guys can do what you want to do after that. But I just think we need to, Alyssa, you muted yourself.
I just unmuted myself to
Yeah,
talk.
you went from, yes, unmuted to muted.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think we need a little bit more information around
Yes.
this
Yeah.
before we make that. But for now, I think, yeah, I think we
I think we've tried to thread the needle we missed, so
Yeah.
we will.
So,
we'll
so
come
our
back.
language for this posting, the here and now, this list can be that we are gonna waive that rule, but but we need to really take a look and bring the rules and really take a look at them and make sure we're doing it right. But for
Yeah,
any kind of long term.
I mean, they're very, very vague. It says the name of any eligible person may also be removed. It doesn't say shall be removed. It says may also be removed if the person has been certified for appointment 3 times. So what does that mean?
But that means that there's
Certified-
objectivity there. So
Right.
then you can decide whether or not this person needs to be removed because like they're applying to so many jobs and they don't care.
Right.
I think that's what it's saying. That there's
Labor law usually has a little bit of a wiggle room, you know, there's always kind of a
We can
little
say
bit
this
of
person
a, so.
Right.
like, yeah, like,
I mean, I used to
Because
have,
it's people.
yeah.
when we used to do the custodian test, there'd be one guy who would apply and was a good test taker and didn't want the job, but he would take it. So instead of having 5 people, they could only pick 4. And
Yeah.
he was
Oof,
doing
yeah.
this constantly.
Yeah.
So I
All right,
mean,
let's do this. And so let's make the exception this time. And we'll go so that you guys can go forward and we'll
Okay.
schedule in our next meeting. We'll have an agenda item.
okay,
And we'll provide you with clear language for the next
Yeah.
time of how that
Yeah.
goes forward. Okay.
And
we'll just
Mary
be
Ann,
clear.
you sent us an abridged version of the civil service rules.
yes.
Could you make copies and send them hard
Oh,
copies
yeah,
to us? So
okay. Yeah,
just so we'll have them if you don't mind, because if these have been updated
Right.
and now we might update them again, who
Yeah.
knows?
okay. Okay, so then we're gonna just go ahead for the employees right now, that if they apply for a job of the same or lower wage grade, they won't be removed from the list, right? We're just gonna.
We'll
keep it as
waive the
is.
language, yes.
All right,
All right, do you have that motion, Mary Ann? You know what we're saying?
yes, yes, yes. Motion, we don't want to remove an employee from the list because they withdrew or waive a job because it's the same or lower salary for this particular posting, okay?
Okay, so the motion will be the administrative support series 1, 2, and 3 will be advertised in the system, will be tested in the regular way, and we will waive that particular language
All righty,
for this particular posting.
okay,
All right, all in favor?
all righty,
Okay, we're good.
good. All right. And. I think
Thank
that's-
you.
Anything else before the board? Nope.
We're good to go, I guess. Thank you. All
Adjournment?
right, all will adjourn,
Adjourn.
Thank you very much.
and thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks for doing it. I appreciate it.
Okay, all right, thank you very much, guys.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.